Hello everyone and welcome to our MSc Ecology and Environmental Monitoring Offer Holder webinar. My name is Amy and I'm part of the team here at the University of Glasgow's Dumfries campus, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to this session today to hear a little bit more about this fantastic programme that we have at the University of Glasgow's Dumfries campus. So I first want to tell you a little bit more about our school and about our campus. If you have any questions for us today, you can visit slido.com and use the code #UofGEEM. That's UofGEEM. And you can ask any questions for myself and our programme director, who will be joining me in just a wee moment as well. So first things first, we are based at the School of Social and Environmental Sustainability here at the University of Glasgow's Dumfries campus. The campus itself is set within 85 acres of stunning parkland in the town of Dumfries. We typically welcome staff and students from across the UK and around the world every year from more than 40 countries. And we're surrounded by what we like to call our living laboratory of Dumfries and Galloway. Now, this does include our teaching garden, which you can see on your screen right now, and that's right at our back doorstep of the Rutherford McCowan building and is used for teaching, for research, and for a social space as well for all of our students and staff. We also make use of the rest of the region of Dumfries and Galloway, though. So we have everything that you could possibly need for your ecology and environmental monitoring programme. We have the rivers, we have coast, forestry, agriculture, peatlands, everything you could possibly want right on our doorstep. We pride ourselves on having small class sizes by design. This means you get much more time, one-to-one time with your lecturers, with your tutors, but also with your classmates as well. And you make friends for life in these programmes. We're a real close-knit community here. And of course, we're the University of Glasgow. We are a Russell Group institution, which means our academics are among the top researchers in their fields. So you're going to be learning from some really fantastic people. The town itself of Dumfries is based in southwest Scotland, so we're approximately 75 miles from the city of Glasgow. We're a really friendly and welcoming community here in the town of Dumfries. We have everything you could need: cafes, bars, clubs and restaurants, all within our town centre. We've also got some on campus as well. We have sports and health facilities. So on campus, we have a gym, sports halls, sports clubs and fitness clubs, all completely free for our students here at the University of Glasgow. So we do have sports and health facilities in the town as well, like ice skating, rock climbing, 24/7 gyms, but we do have all those health facilities on campus for you, free of charge as well. We also have cinema, theatres and shopping. We have a very vibrant cultural heritage here in Dumfries with music, literary and arts festivals. Some happen right here on campus actually every single year as well. And of course, we are not short of the great outdoors here in Dumfries and Galloway. So if you're into hiking and nature trails or mountain biking, we've got the forests, rivers and the coast right here for you to explore. So at the School of Social and Environmental Sustainability itself, we have 4 main subject areas, and that's environment, sustainable development, education and tourism as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about our accommodation options here for you in Dumfries, because we do have 3 university halls of residences that you're able to apply for at the Dumfries campus. So university accommodation, they are 39-week contracts. All your fees include your Wi-Fi, utilities and personal contents insurance. We provide you with bedding and bed linen, and our kitchens are fully stocked with everything that you could need for crockery, cutlery, glassware as well. So you really don't have to bring too much with you when you move in. It's a really great way to make new friends and settle into student life at university accommodation. And we have residence life staff on duty every evening and weekend, so kind of outside those core office accommodation hours. So our first hall is Dumfries Hall, the closest one to the campus. It's just at the bottom of the hill, maybe 5 to 10 minute walk away, or a 20-minute walk into the town centre from the halls as well, or a quick 5-minute bus ride. It's 6 flats over 2 floors, and all of our bedrooms are en suite with a shared dining and kitchen lounge area as well. All of our facilities also have laundry, washer and dryer on site as well. We also have Brook House. This is right in the town centre. It says 5 minutes walk to the town centre. It's really about 30 seconds walk to the high street. So you're right in the centre of things. Or it's about a 20-minute walk to the campus. Or again, it's 5 to 10 minutes on the bus. These are 13 single ensuite bedrooms across 2 floors, as well as a large kitchen and then a smaller kitchen up the stairs as well. And your common room, as well as bicycle storage and your on-site laundry as well. And then finally, we have Laurie Now. This is a 7 ensuite bedrooms across 2 floors, a large kitchen as well as a smaller kitchen, again, much like Brook House, as well as your sitting room and your laundry room as well. This is the furthest halls away from campus. It's about 40 to 45-minute walk to the campus, or it's 10 minutes on the bus. But it is a 5-minute walk right to the town centre. So again, you're really close to all your supermarkets and your shops. Everything that you could need is right next to Laurie now. So in terms of costing, all of our halls are the same weekly rate of £184 per week, and these are paid in 7 instalments from October to April. So the application portal is open. You have to firmly accept your offer of study to apply, but you can apply with both a conditional or an unconditional offer. The big thing I would say, though, is please be aware of deadlines. You will be sent out deadlines in all of your offers and your emails, so please do keep an eye on those when you're applying for accommodation. When you do apply, you'll use this online portal. Make sure to keep a note of that username and password, because you'll need that to manage your entire accommodation experience with us at the university. And when you are applying, when you're asked what type of applicant you are, you can find Dumfries campus there. Okay, so what happens next with accommodation? Well, just keep an eye on your emails. You can add ACCOM at glasgow.ac.uk to your accepted email addresses to make sure any important information is not going into your junk or spam folders. Again, be aware of those deadlines and be aware that there's a £600 prepayment when you first apply. Okie doke, next, funding and finance. So I want to talk a little bit about some scholarship opportunities. We have a fantastic tool here at the University of Glasgow on our website. It's glasgow.ac.uk/scholarships. This is a great resource to use if you're looking for any potential scholarships that you might be able to apply for. So you can put in what type of applicant you are in terms of level, so you're a postgraduate, what program you're studying, where you live in the world, all these different criteria that might mean that you can apply for a scholarship. There's no harm in having a look and seeing if there's anything out there for you. As well as that, when you're actually here in Dumfries, there are opportunities for other sources of funding, so like part-time work. And remembering this is a full-time programme, so we don't recommend any more than 16 hours per week of additional part-time work. But there's lots of cafes, bars, restaurants and hospitality services around about the campus and the region as a whole. There's also the opportunity to take part in some ambassador work. Our student ambassadors choose their hours to fit around their studies, and they have a lot of fun at the same time coming along to events, open days and running campus tours and things like that as well. There's lots of places at Glasgow that you can look. So we have our career centre, our SRC job shop, internship hub, and we also have our student support services and student engagement coordinator here in Dumfries to help you find any local opportunities as well. And finally, just a little bit about student support services. This is something that is really important to us here at the University of Glasgow and our Dumfries campus. We have a dedicated student support officer on campus in Dumfries. You can reach by phone, by email, or you can go and find him along in his office in the drop-in hub in room 106 on the Rutherford McCowan building. Student support officers are the first point of contact for an array of questions that you might have. So anything to do with finances, accommodation, careers information, study support, good cause claims, anything at all really that you're worried about, we are here to help you. And I always like to say that if you aren't sure, please just ask us. You can ask us questions just now using hashtag UofGEEM on slido.com. You can use our YouTube text chat, or you can email us in. If there's no one, if we can't able to help you, straight away, we'll know someone who can. We will absolutely get you anything that you need to, thrive at university. We'll make sure you get all the support that you might need. So, enough from me. I am delighted to welcome now our Programme Director for the Ecology and Environmental Monitoring Programme. This is Dr. Natalie Weldon. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Not a problem, Amy. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I'm going to let you take it away and tell us a little bit more about this fantastic programme.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to come here and chat to all of you guys online today. As Amy said, I'm Natalie Weldon. I am the Programme Director for the Ecology and Environmental Monitoring MSc. I have been based at the Dumfries campus for coming on 8 years, and I have to say, having moved to the region, it's a fantastic place to be, particularly if, as I'm assuming you are, if you're applying for the course, you're somebody who is in any way environmentally minded in the first place. So A little bit about me to get you started. My background is in ecology, so that's my undergraduate, and my master's is in marine environmental management. I have a passion for bird watching. Obviously, a lot of my work is in the marine sphere, particularly around things like pollution. So I like to do lots of work with organisms in that environment as well. But I'm also really interested in things like moth trapping, different forms of environmental monitoring, and working with the general public to solve lots of different environmental problems, whether it's working with stakeholders or whatever that is. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the rest of the team that we're working with as we go forward too. So hopefully some of you might have seen my face already in some of the other publications and different materials around the course and the program. But to get us started, let's give you a bit of a quick refresher. Don't worry too much about the text here, focus on the face, and we'll take you through the different bits. We'll give you a little bit of a refresher on what's there, jog your memory, and the important thing today is get people asking questions about the course. So let's go through some of the bits that you might want to know about. Firstly, why did we put it together in the first place? Amy's already mentioned that we've got a really strong environmental stream here at the campus and sustainability too. So we've got an undergraduate that's in environmental science and sustainability, and our sister master's program, which is environmental risk management. So we've got a nice cohort here, and the ecology and environmental monitoring degree fits in nicely alongside of that. I tend to think of environmental risk management as the impacts on people, whereas in this degree, in this master's program, what we're looking at is the impacts on the environment as a whole. What I want you to be taking away from this as people that are coming onto this master's program going through is I want to be building up your understanding of things like key theories in the study of ecology and environmental monitoring and management, thinking about current and emerging drivers of biodiversity loss and environmental change. So that might be different chemicals like PFAS chemicals that we're bringing in, the dreaded microplastics, land use change, all of those different bits and pieces, looking at them in new ways and exploring those impacts across different environments. I want to build up your experience of species identification, habitat classification, thinking about morphology and taxonomy. I want you to be thinking about choosing, developing and using appropriate biodiversity surveys and statistical and spatial analysis techniques, and thinking about how you can record, analyze and interpret the changing environment for a whole host of different audiences. Now, alongside these aims are a whole list of different things that we call intended learning outcomes. These are the things that you should be able to do by the time that you leave us, whether that's theoretical knowledge or whether it's something like subject-specific skills and attributes, what you can do in the field. I don't want to go through all of them today, but what I think I want all of our graduates to have as a common set of attributes is I want you to be able to feel confident in your ability to go out, whether that's into a future research environment, whether you're going to be working as an RA, whether you're going on to a PhD, whether you're going out into working for different national organizations, regulators, charities, whatever that is, you will be able to confidently hit the ground running and do the job. Being able to characterize habitats, if that's what you're interested in, working with the identification of species, whether that's routine monitoring or identifying new species and reporting their distributions, handling that data and thinking about how that relates to what we know about the world and how it's changing. And like I say, talking to different groups. Some of you might be interested in things like policy routes, for example, going and working with governments. And it's a case of interpreting things for those non-specialists, but very high-powered audiences. Some of you might be interested in working with grassroots organizations, and it's interpreting that data in a different way. Others, it's all about chasing down those new and emerging questions. So it's all about how you handle that, how you communicate it to audiences of your peers, and how you make changes in the field. We'll come back to that in a little bit later on when we talk about your possible pathways when you leave and how we'll help you to get there. Now, the course itself, Once you join us, there's the program overview, so ecology and environmental monitoring, and we've got some core courses that you'll need to take, as well as either a dissertation and a placement and some options that I'll come onto in just a second. First of all, we have our big overarching course that will be with me, and it's called Taxonomy and Population Monitoring. And the reason I've got this is because it involves all of the things that I really love to do, and that is playing outside, getting out into different environments, seeing what's there, working with different groups in order to understand what's going on in different habitats, learning from different individuals, and building up a lot of those practical key skills. So that falls in the first semester and the second semester, and you can expect to be out in the environment at least once a fortnight, possibly more, and we have some guaranteed lab space and lab time that comes along with that to bring what we're seeing back in, have a look at the morphology, get really down into the species identification, and we'll be doing this on a routine basis, which enables you to build up those skills. Then there's Ecology, Environment and Conservation, which will be with Dr. Neil Burns, and that will be in semester 1, and that will be a lot of that underpinning theory, but we're going to develop this in a very, again, hands-on way. One of the ways that we've done this is by combining some of the activities with taxonomy and population monitoring with some of the theory from ecology, environment and conservation. So we're going to be going to some of the sites in which you've done some of the theory and background in that one semester course and seeing how things are working, seeing how some of our observations of what's going on in the field can help you to better understand those new theoretical developments, the particular approaches that you might apply, and how that's done all over the world. In semester 2, helping you if you're going to prepare to go out on placement or for your dissertation course, we've also got research methods in environmental risk and management. So in this course, you'll work with researchers and academics from across the teaching team. It's led by my colleague, Dr. Michelle Bloor, who's an ecotoxicologist. She works in pollution, similar to me. But you'll be learning from lots of different people over different weeks. So you get perspectives on all kinds of different research approaches. And then as we lead you into next summer, you can think about whether you want to go out and work with a particular organization, helping them to achieve their aims while getting specific career-related skills, or whether you want to do a dissertation project of your own devising. Obviously, it's got to be linked to those overall degree aims, but we're fairly flexible. You can do this working with secondary data from other places around the world if you want to do something specific to where you come from, or you can work with organizations slightly more informally than you would do as a placement to explore the environment around us. And believe me, there is plenty to look at here. Alongside those core options, we have the more selective ones. And this is where you can specialize as to your own interests a little bit more. That's not to say that the core options don't give you lots of ways to demonstrate and learn new skills, but this is where you can separate and make use of some of that diversity of subjects that we have here at the Dumfries campus. So that might be things from our humanities and liberal arts style profile. So it might be that you're interested in the cultural history of animals, for example, that comes from our environment, culture and communication program. It might be that you're interested in how the environment is perceived in literature as part of the reading the environment or writing the environment courses. Of course, you might decide to do something that's entirely environmentally science-minded. Then we've got things like responding to risks in terrestrial environments with Dr. John Shee, or you might decide to do responding to risks in aquatic environments with me if you've decided that you've not seen enough of my face over the intervening couple of months. We've also got things like policy choices that you've got before you, areas around wildlife tourism, and a whole host of other options. You're not going to be left entirely on your own to make those decisions if you're not sure in which direction you want to go. When you join us at the university, I will be here to act as what's called your advisor of studies. This is a point of contact that basically when you arrive with us, we help you to identify what your key goals are for why you've joined the master's program in the first place, what you hope to get out of it, and what you think your future career trajectory might be. With that in mind, I'll be helping you to identify what's the best to help you get to where you want to go, or which of the options might be the most interesting or exciting for you to study if you're unsure. As you progress as well, we'll think about how we emphasize those skills as you get into things like writing CVs and covering letters, whether that's for jobs or whether it's for going on for things like further study and research. So, whilst you're doing these things, Amy's obviously already hinted you are going to be out in the fantastic environments in Dumfries and Galloway and beyond. Locally, we have a lot of environmentally linked industries. So there is an emphasis quite high on things like sustainable tourism, as you might have noticed from some of the optional courses that I've popped up on screen. But we've also got things like agriculture and forestry that make up a large proportion of our land area, common to lots of countries worldwide, in which we can test out some of the things like our identification skills, our management measures, and some of those other things. We've also got beautiful coastland and upland areas, particularly in the upland areas. We've got the influence of things like previous mining activities, where we can look at communities, monitor change, and all of those different bits. And we'll also take you out to local field stations to help you develop more of those other key skills as well. So looking at things like freshwater dynamics and potentially going out and doing things like electrofishing. Within this as well, if we can't get outside, there's always the lab as well. I already mentioned that some of the stuff that we'll be doing on taxonomy and population monitoring, when we come back from the field, we'll be bringing lots of stuff with us to identify, to look at the dynamics of the different environments and characterize habitats. We've got excellent facilities for things like soil characterization, and all kinds of ways of monitoring environmental change. Some of this stuff I like to do in the field if it's good weather like it is today. I'm really regretting being online this morning. I'd much rather be out in the sun with you guys with me. If we can do it in the field, we'll do it in the field. But if we can't, we'll be in the lab using that space to get the best out of teaching you those different methods and approaches to analyzing site data. So you'll get a variety of different approaches. And like I say, this has been booked out for you to use for lots of different courses, as well as some independent study time. So if you're working on a project or a piece of coursework, you'll have access as a cohort to that lab to use in your free time, whether you want to brush up certain skills, whether you want to try out different types of equipment to build on your existing competencies. Having said that, I've just kind of stated that we have a high emphasis on field skills. Now, Amy's already identified some of the accommodation options that are here for you locally. Now, some of the surveys that we will be doing will start potentially quite early and may run slightly later. There are lots of nocturnal species that we might like to survey, crepuscular organisms that are out at dawn and dusk. And that might mean that we have to leave slightly earlier, come back slightly later. And the further you have to travel from your accommodation to the campus, the more different transport that you have to rely on, the more challenging that becomes. So if you're thinking about where you want to stay, you might want to keep that in mind. Some of you might already have cars, you might be living locally and commuting in, but some of you might be coming from slightly further away and not have access to your own transport. Now, it might be that if you do live further away, you decide to stay locally for those nights around there or stay with friends, whatever that might be, but you have been warned early on. Be prepared for a few early mornings. We're ecologists. It's the life we chose. Okay, so Beyond that, who might you meet whilst you're here? You've already met me, and I've mentioned Dr. Burns, Michelle Blur, I've mentioned John Shee as well, but we've got quite a large environmental science team here with a diversity of specialisms. So we've got environmental chemists, we have people working on environmental risk and resilience, adaptation to climate change, we have pure ecologists that are just interested in the numbers. We have expertise in things like the development of GIS skills and a whole range of different practical approaches. You will, over the course of the program, your master's degree, get to meet most of these individuals. And so when you're choosing things like your dissertation topics, you'll be able to identify someone to work with that will be the most suited to what you want to achieve, whether you're interested in working in the marine field, freshwater, or other groups. Within these staff members are also people like me who've worked outside academia for a certain period of time. So I used to work for the Environment Agency, and I've worked in outdoor education as well. I know a couple of individuals here have worked for places like farming institutions, with Neil doing things like advising for government. So there'll be somebody there, no matter what your intended career path, who can advise you through. Yes, we'll all have gone through the old master's, PhD, on through research track, but some of us have been outside of academia as well, and we're here to support you if that's what you want to do. Alongside the teaching team too, we've got a mix of local and national level institutions, as well as some international, that contribute either directly to the teaching as part of guest lectures, or will be there to help us in the field. So we will be working with local organisations at particular sites that they're interested in or they are custodians of, to work on things like long-term monitoring regimes. And you'll get experience of working and reporting back to those groups, as well as getting training from them in return. We're really embedded in the local community here, and it's a real asset to our programme that we can work with these groups closer to. So wherever you want to go, hopefully we've got something to take you to that point, whether it's going into things like ecological consultancy, whether you want to work with things like monitoring and NGOs, whether you're interested in environmental regulation, whether that's policy advocacy, whether it's actually working within governmental bodies, whether you're interested in species identification, collections curation, and that ongoing monitoring and biodiversity tracking angle, whether it's land management or whether some of you are focusing on that future research. Hopefully we've got the skills that will take you there. But it's been really lovely me chatting at you. I will hand back to Amy, and when you've got questions, I'm really happy to take them. Okay.
Thank you so much. That sounds so exciting. And we do have quite a few questions that have come in. So let's just dive straight in and we'll get some answers to our offer holders. So first question, how much time will we get in the lab versus time in the field? Excellent question.
So that will depend very much on which options you take. Some of them are more lab intensive than others. So for example, for the GIS options that you have there, then there's a lot more time indoors in our computer labs doing the actual mapping and putting things onto screens and working from there. For taxonomy and population monitoring, typically every outdoor session that we do will be paired with a lab session. So we'll be bringing stuff in and we'll be completing the picture as it is, learning about those environments and writing things up. And like I say, you can expect to be out in the field at least once a fortnight over the 2 semesters with that course. What else we got? Well, responding to risks in aquatic environments. We've got 2 field trips as part of that, with a potential 3rd one coming in, but we've also got 1 lab session. So that's 4 sessions, 1 of which is in the lab, and that's over an 11-week term. So we spend a lot of time out and about with that as well. Ecology is always evolving because ecology and taxonomy and population monitoring feed off one another.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's probably more field than lab at the moment. But like I say, if you want to continue building on those techniques, if you want to spend more time in the lab, we've got it booked for you. So you can do as much or as little extra as you'd like to build that up.
That's great. It sounds like they're really going to get that kind of whole process as well, like start to finish, to see how it actually works. Is that right? Like they're going to actually be able to get the samples, do the research, write it up, that whole process.
Yeah, absolutely. And with taxonomy and population monitoring, it's you guys that will be in charge of a lot of the ways that we do the sampling. In the first couple of weeks, we'll revisit some of those key skills around designing survey regimes for different species. And also we'll run through some practice on the different amounts of equipment we've got, the different methods we can use. And then ahead of each of our field visits, it's down to you to devise suitable sampling regimes. So you'll have control with advice from start to finish. So we'll support you through every step of the process, but it's very much you guys building those skills. It's totally hands-on.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, next question. We have lots to get through here. Great question. How much freedom is given in our final dissertation to choose our own topic?
Obviously, we are always, whether we're researchers or whether we're students, we're limited by what kit is available. So when you get to that point, it'll be a discussion around what you want your research question to be. That might be dictated by the career that you want to go into. It might be dictated by the future research you want to do. It might be pure interest. What we'll do after that point is identify whether there are people locally that are working in that area that might be able to help provide support, and the support that we can provide within the university itself. And we'll help you kind of narrow it down to something that is feasible. Other than that, you are pretty much able to do whatever is practically achievable. That's basically the limitation. So long as it fits under the master's title of ecology and environmental monitoring, and it's something that you can achieve within the time period given. I don't want you coming off with a huge, enormous research question that you don't stand a chance of answering in the time period allowed. But yeah, so long as it fits under there, you have the freedom to dictate where you want to go.
Brilliant. Sounds ideal. Thank you so much. Okay, next question. Are we able to visit the campus during the summer? Yes, absolutely. Easy answer there. Absolutely, yes. You can head over to our website, glasgow.ac.uk/Dumfries. There's a little button there that says visit us. You can click on that. We have campus tours that you can book running throughout the entire year. So every month our student ambassadors put on some campus tours. And we do a little bit more during the summer as well, because people tend to be a bit more free with their time, so they can come and visit us. So if you have a look and the times or the dates suit you, or you're coming over for a visit, so a specific date or something, just get in touch with us. You can just email us and we can put on something bespoke for you, as long as it fits in and some we're available and the campus is open, which it generally is in the summer. You can come and visit us and we'll put something on for you. But if you're not able to come in person to visit the campus, we also have the opportunity to visit us in virtual reality. So we actually have a whole suite of 360, that's virtual reality tours, so of our campus. We have some in our teaching garden with one of our classes. We also are out in the field with yourself, Natalie, with the 360 tour. So you can head over to glasgow.ac.uk/schools/SES/virtual. There's a whole suite of content there for you to view. You can view on your phone by scrolling around or by holding up and moving it around. You can use a headset, like a cardboard headset, or you can use it on your desktop and use the mouse to scroll around as well. There's lots of different options for you to be able to view the content, but it just gives you a nice kind of 360 virtual idea of what our campus and our classes actually look like. So if you can't get here in person, not to worry, there is plenty of options for you there. Okie doke. Next question. Will we have free time to explore the area or explore Scotland? I mean, I'd say yes, but what do you say, Programme Director?
Absolutely. So hopefully we'll be able to give you a really good overview of the areas wilder parts, environmentally wilder parts, when we're out and about. But absolutely, you will want to explore, particularly if you're coming in from elsewhere. I'm not Scottish originally, as you can probably tell by my lack of accent. I don't have any accent at all, obviously. But yeah, it's one of the things that I really like to do locally is get out and explore. You will typically expect to be in class on 3 days a week, with those optional extra times for nipping into the lab. And on occasion, there will be additional bits. So we might be away on extended field work, or there might be the option for an extra trip. It might be a great time of year and there's a migratory species that's just appeared and I'm going, so I might as well take you guys. Yeah. But the rest of the time is definitely your own. So use it. Go out, have a look. I know that occasionally there are trips organised by university groups that go off to other places. So you'll get the chance to get involved and go see them. Obviously, you can get the train to Glasgow, to Edinburgh, to Carlisle, and out to the wider UK from there. So by all means, get out and explore. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
Yeah, definitely. You took the words out of my mouth there, because Dumfries is a really great kind of transport hub, I suppose. You know, from Dumfries, you can go south, you can go Carlisle, you can go Newcastle, Manchester, north, you can go Glasgow, Edinburgh. Pretty much, you know, the whole of the UK is very accessible from us. And actually, we have one of our student content creators, Sri Kumar, created a vlog of his time over the winter in the UK, his first winter in the UK, and he did actually travel pretty much the whole of the UK, and he filmed all of it, and that is available on our YouTube channel and our website as well. So make sure and check that out. It's a really nice video he's put together there of his travels, and he saw so much as well. And he really did go tip top north all the way south to London and everything in between. So yeah, if you can, I think getting out there, it's important. Remember, we have free bus travel in Scotland for under 22 years old as well. It's completely free. You can use the bus to go anywhere around Scotland. If you're under the age of 22, or we have rail cards, bus passes, student discounts, all that kind of stuff is available as well. So definitely something to check out. And you can go a little bit exploring and join in with our student groups as well. I know our student engagement coordinator does a lot of, you know, fun trips and events and things like that. So if you can join in with them as well, that would be really great. Okie doke. Let's have a little look-see. Okay, I am moving to Scotland to join the programme. Amazing. Do you have any advice? It will be my first time in the UK. I mean, first of all, congratulations. We can't wait to welcome you. That is so exciting. I mean, any advice?
Waterproofs. Yeah. Waterproofs, definitely. In fact, that's everyone. I don't care if it's the first time in the UK. I don't care if you live here. I don't care if you're from down the road. Make sure that you have got warm clothing and sturdy shoes, because we're going to be outside.
Definitely.
But yeah, take the time to have a look around, particularly if you're visiting for the first time. It's really nice and open. I know during the induction week period, we have a lot of introductory sessions for those people that are coming to the UK to study, might not have come before. So I'd recommend getting along to them. There's lots of advice on how to integrate locally so that you know where all the resources are for you. And I think that's one of the best things that you can do. Talk to us if you're interested, if you want a recommendation for where's good to go see. We're absolutely happy to help. Some of us might give you different recommendations for sure. But yeah, make sure that you're taking the time to do that, because it's really easy to, particularly for master's programs, to get really wrapped up into your studies, because it's 1 year. It feels like you've got very limited time. You're doing it because you're really interested in the subject, and it can be so pressurized. Take the time, talk to people that might be interested in going to the same places, and try and prioritize one trip a semester or something to make sure that you make the most of it.
Oh, definitely. And I think I would say as well, you're absolutely not going to be alone. So, you know, I said at the beginning, we do welcome, you know, over 40 different, you know, nationalities on campus every year. We have a whole, you know, really diverse kind of student group. So you're not going to be the only one who's in the UK for the first time or Scotland for the first time. We're really friendly, welcoming, not just campus, but the town itself. Hopefully you're getting that feeling as well. You know, we like to welcome everyone really, really warmly. So, yeah, you'll meet others for sure, not just on your program, but on the campus as a whole, maybe across other programs. You'll meet us, you'll meet our student ambassadors. When you first arrive, our student ambassadors will be in bright pink t-shirts. You will not be able to miss them. They are current students who are, working for the university, and they are specially trained to help you if you're lost, if you need a dinner recommendation, if you need, help with navigating the bus system or the train system. Anything at all, we're all very much here for you. So look out for us on your first day on campus. We'll be around for a few weeks, certainly, in their bright pink t-shirts, just to make sure they're nice and visible for you. But yeah, you're going to be fine. It's going to be great. You're going to come over and it'll be so much fun, and you'll have plenty of time to explore and chat with us. We'll give plenty of recommendations. A lot of us have moved to the region as well. So I moved to Dumfries. I'm not from Dumfries originally, and I don't know how many years later we're still here. So yeah, please do just reach out. If there's anything we can help you with, we're more than happy to help. And I think we have time for just one more question, possibly. Okay, yeah. Are there any funding opportunities to support the cost of tuition? I would definitely recommend, once again, our scholarships tool on the University of Glasgow's website. So it's glasgow.ac.uk/scholarships. You can go on there. You never know, there might be something that you can apply for that might just help with your tuition costs. We can also do things like payment plans, installment plans, all that kind of stuff for tuition fees. So please just reach out. I'll pop our contact details on the screen in just a second, so that you can reach out to us. If you have any questions at all, we are here to help. But yes, absolutely. That's the scholarships tool, glasgow.ac.uk/scholarships. Have a little look, see what you can find. There's absolutely no harm in seeing if there's something out there that might be able to help you out a wee bit. But yeah, I think that's all we have time for just now. Thank you so much for all of your questions. Thank you for joining us today at this session. And thank you so much, Natalie, for joining us today and sharing all this wonderful information. It sounds so exciting. I cannot wait to meet all of our students in September. So if you have any further questions for us, for our team, you can contact us at dumfries-comms@glasgow.ac.uk. Reach out to us. We're here to help. We're happy to help. Any questions at all, we'll make sure and help you out. But thank you once again. Looking forward to seeing you all on campus in September, and we'll say bye for now.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.